Hello and welcome
Hello,
back to
everyone, and
another
welcome back
shut.
to another
That's my
exciting
line.
episode of
That's
the
my.
Movie
It's
Pod.
copy. It's
Hey,
copyrighted. It's
hey,
copyrighted.
hey.
No, shh. Okay, we're gonna do this again. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Hoppers, and this
Movie
time the
Hoppers.
Hoppers go to space. Yes, we are reviewing the new Brad Pitt in space movie, Ad Astra, and it is a movie about Brad Pitt floating around in space, and
By
that's
himself for half the movie.
yes, he's a very lonely man.
That's what it was.
Yep. Uh, so what did you fellas think about this IMAX experience?
Uh, Very disorienting.
Yes. How about you, Nick?
Uh, it's not my first time staring at a very gigantic screen like that before for several hours. So
Wow, that's a very good description of the movie.
yeah,
Well, I guess something I should say before we start is that afterwards I saw Downton Abbey, right? And I saw
yeah,
Downton Abbey in the theater right next to the IMAX theater, and
yeah.
throughout the movie I could feel the shaking and hear the low rumbling like the whole time, the whole movie. I could just the seats were shaking in this theater. It was, I guess that's a testament to the quality of the IMAX. It was very loud and a lot of shaking. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of space bass sounds.
yes, yeah, a lot of rockets taking off, and it feels like you're actually in a rocket taking off. So I guess that's a good thing. But what?
Max literally left the chair and started flying upwards.
Yes, that's why he's not here today. He never came
He's
back
still on
Yeah.
the
down.
descent.
He's lost in space.
Like Brad Pitt. So, fellas, just besides IMAX, what did you guys think of the movie as a whole?
Would have been better as a book.
But a book
Good,
can't shake you.
good visuals, but weird story.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
very. What were you gonna say, Nick?
I was just gonna agree with Sebastian that the visuals were quite nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
it looked good on the big fat IMAX screen. Um, it was a lot of black. There was a lot of black, and the black looked black. So that's all it had to do, and that's what it did. But so this movie is about Brad Pitt trying to find his dad, who's in space, because his dad is like making a surge happen, kind
But
of.
also not.
Okay, well we're gonna keep that for spoiler talk, pal. Um, but they think that his dad's making the surge happen, and he's like, go kill your dad, and Brad Pitt's like, okay, and he gets more and more disoriented as he goes
And
along,
Yeah.
and that's. But did you get? Did you guys find it entertaining?
To an extent, sort of. Like at times, it kind of felt more like a horror movie than like a sci-fi action movie.
Yeah, the first half of the movie kind of felt like a horror-esque movie.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of suspense that was getting you, and then finally something would happen, sort of like a horror movie style. And like,
Can we talk about the space chimps?
Oh man,
yeah, for
jumping
real.
out in space. That was very funny.
Oh yeah, check it out in space.
Oh, yeah. The last thing I expected to see was a monkey.
Yeah, a literal monkey in space.
Yeah, and then Brad Pitt just opens the airlock and its head explodes.
Whenever it exploded, that was like a big promo. Are we talking about spoil? I think we're in spoilers. Whatever. Like,
Well, it's not a spoiler that a monkey got killed.
okay, good. It's like whenever it exploded, that was just like that was so funny. Just seeing the whole thing just blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, monkeys blowing up is quite exciting.
Yeah, especially space.
Yeah.
I think that had to be the most action part of the movie. We're not going to talk about the buggy killing gun fight on space thing.
That movie wasn't that action packed though, because it was
Yeah. Well,
very slow.
It was disorienting because it kept jumping from viewpoint to viewpoint, and then also it had space effects, so there wasn't much sound. All you could hear is the sound of the gun being fired.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of juxtaposition between the action scenes, and then there would just be a long stretch of non-action, and then there'd be like some action. And it was kind of jolting how it would go back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, that was like the first half though. So like in the second
Yeah.
half,
It
like
was just nothing.
Yeah.
it was like just no action
Yeah.
whatsoever. It was about the whole big storyline. It was kind of trying to like tie up loose ends.
Until the end when something very stupid happens. But I guess that's the thing. I feel like this movie is supposed to, let you. I mean, you're supposed to take this movie seriously, and then you do. But then it does something like really stupid, like the monkey scene or the fight on the moon. That's just like, well, that's kind of dumb. And then it kind of like takes you out of that serious mood. So I kind of felt like I was being jolted from thing to thing. And I don't think that helped the movie particularly.
Yeah, and they do a very good job at making you forget that the driving plot force isn't actually there.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Like the surges, like halfway through the movie, it's almost as if they forgot about it. Because like
Yes.
it wasn't the main focus like it was at the beginning.
Yeah.
If you look too, it's like these surges, they didn't really happen as often as you thought they would. Like it's just randomly they would happen. Like if the person's safe somehow, then just a random
Yeah,
surge will
plot
hit.
convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was kind of it. Then after like the one part where it hits, it doesn't hit for like the entire second half of the movie, and it's like it just doesn't hit you for some reason. And I didn't really understand that with how that was working because the surges are supposed to be hitting you constantly. So
No,
Wow.
it was like firing like every so often. Like this might be going into spoiler talk a little bit, but
Whoa,
like
whoa, whoa, whoa,
you
whoa,
see the
whoa,
spacecraft
whoa,
firing the waves.
whoa, wait, we're not spoiler talk yet, fellas.
No. I'm just talking about the mechanics here. So it had to charge up the wave before it would fire it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was a bit of plot convenience there, but I kind of understand the mechanics behind it, but it's still, plot convenience. Which, this movie kind of reminded me of, have any of you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
No, I have not.
Oh.
No.
Well, it's kind of a lesser version of that for those more cultured. But yeah, I also saw that movie in IMAX, so it's like, wow, flashback. But yeah, it was very visually nice. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you like find it interesting to the point where it was enjoyable at least?
I mean,
At some points, yeah, because like, especially the beginning parts and stuff. Those
Yeah.
parts made it interesting in the beginning.
The beginning parts when there was actually a plot there.
Yeah, but then like the second half and the ending was hitting. It's like, oh no.
Well,
It's just Brad Pitt floating through space. That's literally the entire second half of the movie.
I don't feel like the surge is really the plot of the movie as much as it is an excuse to start the plot of
That's
Brad Pitt finding his
what I
dad.
was saying. That's what I was saying. It's like I was thinking that it was more of his internal conflicts
Yes.
and him trying
Well,
to find
but
his dad.
they
stuff.
go into it so much. It's like they were trying to tell two different stories, but they couldn't pick one,
Yeah.
so they finished neither of them.
Well, one gets finished for good. Am I right, fellas? But we're not gonna quite talk about that one yet. What else is there? Besides Max ascending.
What about Max just chimping out?
Yeah, he did chimp a lot.
By the end of it,
He was.
and by the end of it, he was just going insane. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh. Can we talk about that weird experience that when we left the theater and how there was a novice movie reviewer asking the legendary Hone?
We got approached. This is the first time I've seen many movies, many of which on opening day. I thought they only approached people on the Thursday night previews, but I was wrong. We got approached by Cinema Score, baby. We are official critics. Our opinions have been are now a part of a industry scale, and if you go on their website, we gave well, at least I, as a representative, gave Ad Astra a C, and overall it got a B minus. So yeah, we contributed to that, and that information is going to the company, and that company is gonna process our information. Isn't that kind of crazy, guys? We're like real deal movie critics now. We're like,
well, it's funny that a novice would ask the professionals for assistance on how to rate their movies. Like, they couldn't just wait for this episode of the Movie Hoppers.
Yeah, and she was like, you can't give it a B plus or a B minus. You can just give it a B. I was like, this person has obviously never watched an episode of the Movie Hoppers. We used a superior 1 to 10 scale with 0.5s in between for maximum accuracy.
We also use decimals occasionally.
Yes.
Yeah, you should have linked her to the Movie Hoppers.
I should have.
She could have gotten some intel and stuff on how to.
Why did I not have my business cards on me?
Yeah, wait. We need to make Movie Hoppers official business cards.
Yes.
We should. Yeah.
Absolutely. But anyway, back to the movie that we're reviewing, and not the person we are criticizing.
I think we're ready for spoiler talk.
Are we ready to pop the spoiler cherry? I think we might be.
Yeah.
Please never say that again.
I will say it for every episode.
No, please.
Okay, so anyway, popping the cherry, we are talking about spoilers.
All right, that's it. Joe's canceled.
Did anybody find it odd?
Yes.
Oh.
Very odd, yeah.
But did anybody... What do you think about the part where Brad Pitt takes the solar panel thing off of the spaceship thing and then jumps through space and then uses it as a shield against ice?
I thought that was pretty cool, but it just depends on what the metal was, because he was going through like chunks of space rock.
Yeah.
That
like, I don't know the little thing of
he was.
metal. Yeah, and then also at the velocity he was traveling, it's like I don't know. I think these rocks, those space rocks, would have probably like dented the thing. They did make it look like a cool scene, though. I'll give him that at least.
Also, it would have taken him like a really long time to fly through that, because he had no boost. He just jumped off the antenna.
Yeah.
Jumped.
Not just that. I was thinking how the rock would probably slow him down to a point where he would just probably stop and start going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. But that's the thing. That was my problem. It would, be like before that, it was serious stuff like, no, Tommy Lee Jones died. And then it's something, it completely takes you out because it does something totally insane and totally like outlandish. And it just doesn't make much sense, this movie.
Speaking of outlandish, what about the following scene?
In which, he uses the nuclear blast to propel him to Earth. And it works.
No, like he had a nuke. The nuke went off in space, right? Yeah. Now this nuke had enough power to launch him from Neptune all the way to Earth. From Mars to Neptune, it took 79 days, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
So that nuclear blast had more power in it than like all of the rockets he had traveled on throughout the movie.
He probably he would have either died or the rocket would have been destroyed, because
if
it was that powerful.
It's so much power, and it's like, how was he able to use that? Like that, I didn't understand that one at all.
Nice.
It's like, okay, he's using the force of the rocket or the force of the nuke to propel his rocket, but if it was that powerful to push him all the way to Earth, it would have destroyed the rocket.
Shh, you're not supposed to think of these things, Nick. Not supposed to
listen to your buddy.
Well, could we go off, there was one scene that I really liked in it, aside from the space chimps, but everyone loved the space chimps.
Obviously.
That was
Space Chimp's best scene.
One of the scenes I really liked was the beginning part, where it was that big space antenna, and then the whole thing just starts blowing up, and
that was interesting.
Yeah, the space antenna never comes back.
Yeah, it made the movie very interesting in the beginning, because it's like you just get you already just get immersed into the action. Whenever the comms just start going dead and that one guy falls off that parachute, it's like, oh my, and then all of a sudden people are falling off, things are going crazy, and then it's like it really just does make it gets a good start for the movie, but then
and
it's
then
like
they
it's
never build off of that.
yeah. Then it keeps on going. It just like kind of loses that effect. So
again, that's the problem. This movie doesn't commit to a tone. You know, some scenes are like wild and off the hook, and then some scenes are like really like grounded, and it doesn't end up mixing too well, in my opinion.
Especially the parts where he's transitioning from his inner thoughts to the what's going on around him, because some of those it just felt like they gave no buffer.
Yeah, those were kind of weird at times, where it's like he would say something, but then like it would not really connect to what was going on around him. And then like the part that I was kind of like weirded out by was you know how like whenever he was in 0 G's and he was on the second half of the movie, whenever he was on the spaceship going to Neptune, you know how it's like he was saying that he was starting to lose his sanity while being in like 0 G's and all that. It's like, yeah, that part was just kind of like weird to me, because it's like the stuff he was saying was even more outlandish and not connecting to what was going on in those scenes, and I was like, oh my, trying to like think upon it and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would agree with not trying to find a tone, though.
It'd be like that though. But we are really ragging on this movie, guys. We are really negative here, and here at the Movie Hoppers, we are never negative. That just can't happen. So we're gonna.
Well, I mean, I already did say my positive about the scene at the beginning.
And I agreed with Sebastian's positive, so it's up to you now, Joe.
Wait. Agreeing with somebody else's positive is not your own positive.
You have to create your own positive.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you see, Sebastian took the only positive, and I think we're a team here on the Movie Hoppers, so I'm gonna hop on the Sebastian's positive.
But dude, how about this? You could just say the space chimps.
Okay, then I say space chimps.
Wait a second, Seabass gave you that suggestion too. You stole another one from Seabass.
No.
Wait a second.
All right, listen here, Joe.
I gave that one to
him.
I gave that to him.
Taking and being given a gift.
There's something wrong with that.
No, just pick your own positive there, Mr. Negative Nancy Joe Honan.
Okay then. Okay, Seabass, give me another positive. Since this is your favorite movie.
I mean, the moonscape is really funny too, just seeing a random subway on the moon.
There we go.
Made me laugh a whole lot.
Oh yeah, Max was just leaned over and was like, "Subway on the moon," and I was like, "Yeah, sure is."
Yeah.
That's why it's so memorable.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, how about the concept of the space pirates? They, like, space buggy is like NASA property, or like the government property, and then these pirates just go around killing people on the moon.
They're only mentioned once, though, and that's it. Only mentioned once. Yeah, I don't know.
Never really goes to anything.
Yeah, it's kind of pointless if you ask me. They should have just had like a nice drive down Moon Path.
Yeah, and then people that you didn't care about would have never died.
Yeah, which apparently influenced Brad Pitt in such a way that it made him even more depressed.
Yes, this whole movie is just about Brad Pitt being depressed.
It's just Brad Pitt and his depression, just in the movie.
Man.
Oh yeah, and I like the really like shoddy subplot of his like marriage or whatever that was.
Oh yeah, his marriage. That was like, I was looking at that, and at first it kind of made sense. Then like towards the end,
he didn't need to include like the movie. The movie did not need any of those scenes.
But actually, Brad Pitt learns to love again.
Yeah, at the end, the subplot like somehow in some weird outlandish way, like I think that was probably the only thing that made sense to me, because it's like his wife was not happy with what he was doing, so she went out.
Just find someone who understands you.
Yeah, but then like that was going on, and then like at the end they both got reconnected because he went back. Like I understand that, but there's still a few like sorts of things that could have happened in the middle of it. Yeah, I think if they didn't really add that in, that would be probably.
Look! It's all about this movie is all about Brad Pitt finding humanity in the least likely of places, his stupid dad and space, and that's what it's about.
Which is funny because Brad Pitt is the only character for half the movie.
Yes. He doesn't even have a name. It's just Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
As well as, remember the lake scene? Whenever I thought I'd be like another 47 meters down, I thought some space sharks.
Just like climbing through this rope, like underwater.
Oh yeah.
And, like it was about to be a 47 meters down flashback. There was going to be a really jarring bass noise, and the shark would appear.
I was waiting for like a space shark to appear and just try to gobble him. Oh, and then like as well as after that scene, whenever he murdered the 3 people, that was surely something right there.
He just killed the entire crew because they won't agree with him.
And like the one girl got vibe checked against the window. That was pretty fucking great.
Everyone got vibe checked in that movie.
I feel like all the action scenes, the reason, serious movies can have action scenes, that's fine, but the problem with these is that they're kind of just funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, they don't know how to operate any technology. Brad Pitt is the only one who's ever looked at a gun before. And then you have these scientists.
With all the camera angles and stuff that's going on too, it kind of gets complicated. So then you just can't help but laugh because it's like you don't even know what's going on, and you just hear nothing but gunfire, space noises, and like noises, and then it's just like you don't know what to do. So then you start laughing because it just sounds really weird.
Man, it's cool how they were able to film this movie on scene in space.
Oh yes. Did
that was awesome.
Wait, no. Did you know a fun fact that the moon landing was actually staged, but like the astronauts were such perfectionists that they actually filmed it on location?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I kind of stole that joke, like all my jokes. But okay, let's talk
about the summary of this movie.
It stole everybody's jokes.
No,
they recorded on the moon.
Yeah, and they actually
and also Mars. They even went on the Neptune too. They went to Neptune. They filmed on Neptune.
Yeah, perfectionists. But okay, also Tommy Lee Jones was anyone here sympathize with Tommy Lee Jones and his stupid friends that was stupid?
No. He just killed everyone.
Look,
for no reason.
Look.
They're like, okay, it's been fun out here on Neptune, and they're like, oh,
they just want to go back to their home, but
like, just we're here. We want to go, and then he just like, okay, if you want to leave, you're going to be leaving your body in this mortal realm, and then he just kills all of them.
He just and then he just flipped down a switch and just vibe checked everyone on that ship. Except
look, I think they were cruising for a bruising. Tommy Lee Jones.
You're wrong. I don't think he was
trying to get back home.
Tommy Lee Jones was trying to
cruising for a bruising here.
Look.
Look at it.
Look at it from this a lot of innocence.
Look at it from the superior perspective. Tommy Lee Jones was trying to do some really cool things with his pal. He's like, "Come on, guys, let's go to space. Let's find some alien life." And then they were there, and his pals were like, "Tommy Lee Jones, this sucks. We quit." And then he was like, "No, I'm not going to drive you home. You're here. You're fucking here. I'm not driving you home. We're already here." And they were bitching, and they were moaning, and Tommy Lee Jones was trying to have a good time and do a cool thing and make some good science, and all of his friends were like, not vibing with him. So then he was like, "Okay, then I'll just fucking blow your heads up." And then that's what he did, and he was like, "That's what you get for wanting to go home. I'm trying to do a cool thing here. You guys were like down to clown, and now you're not. So you know what? You guys can just die."
Yeah, I'm sticking to my previous idea.
You know what?
Yeah, I think all Joe explained is that we're correct in the fact that
I think so.
Tommy Lee Jones trying to do some cool shit, and his, you know.
All they wanted to do was leave. That's it. There's no problem there. They don't deserve to die for it.
Look,
you know what he could have done? He could have just, you know what he could have done? He could have just put the bomb on there, made the nuclear blast, then just sent them all back home.
He didn't have the bomb. Wait, no, he did not. He did not have the bomb.
Oh no, he didn't have the bomb. No, he could have gotten one.
Could have created one.
Oh yeah, he could have just went to Walmart, Space Walmart, and bought the nuclear bomb.
Have you heard of the Space Walmart Neptune franchise? Like,
yeah.
there's a whole
My bad.
thing. There's a whole Walmart in the middle of Neptune. It's just like right there. You can easily get to it.
Also, I think if we were in Tommy Lee Jones' position, we would also kind of be in disbelief at the fact that despite the fact that the universe is constantly expanding, there was no other life than ours. That's kind of doesn't. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Let's debate the existence of aliens. Do you believe that aliens exist, Sebastian?
I would say yeah, because like we can't be the only ones, and space is, as we can see, infinite. So there's got to be some like more life out there.
Although I gotta say the science in this movie is shoddy because they said that because they are outside of the sun's magnetic pole, they can now like shoot out a signal that can just go nonstop forever, as if there were no other stars or no other magnetic poles in the galaxy.
Yeah, like there's got to be some sort of other magnetic pull in the galaxy, especially by Neptune.
Oh, regarding those signals, I really want to talk about how stupid the surges are at that point in the movie.
Yeah. They like.
Go ahead.
Go.
Yeah, well, like what they did, it's like the surges. Like what I was saying before, the surges would appear whenever everyone's safe, whenever everyone's all happy and stuff, just chilling. Then they'd appear, but if they're still in danger and stuff, or at least if Brad Pitt is on his like half a movie journey, it's like then they just don't appear whatsoever. Except for the very, like, almost end point where he's in that little pod and he's going over to be at the ship. Then the surge hits, and that's it. And then that's the last we see of it. But it's
well, yeah, because he blows it up afterwards.
I know, but it's like... I think... I wish there was kind of more to the surges. Like, what I wish they could have done is elaborated more on Brad Pitt's journey through space. Because that was, like, one of the longest journeys in the entire movie. Because it's like he went from Mars.
It was the only journey.
Yeah, he went from Mars all the way to Neptune by himself. It's like they just recorded his thoughts and stuff, and then showed the planets he was going by. But like, I wish some sort of struggles, like some electric surges or something, could have happened to him while he was in that journey, so he could have had a few more like event points.
Yeah, like the surges waited all the way up until he got to Neptune.
Yeah, because it's like that part was kind of boring, because it's like you just watched him go from one planet, record his thoughts, then go to another planet, record his thoughts even more, and then he makes it to Neptune, and then the next part of the movie hits. But it's like, I just wish they could have elaborated more in that big journey part, because that was like one of the biggest journeys, and I think they should have at least like made it a little bit better with how they handled it and stuff, because like those surges, they should have done something about it.
And regarding the surges, when they were talking about the cause and when he was actually talking to his dad, the dad said, and I don't know if you guys remember, he said, "I'm trying to stop the surges."
Mm-hmm.
I remember that, yeah.
But was for the entire previous hour and a half of the movie or so, they were all saying that the dad is the one causing the surges. Go and kill him.
Yeah, they did say that.
And then he just says, "I'm trying to stop the surges," as he's just sitting in a chair, not doing anything about them.
Well, I mean, yeah.
How were the surges happening?
There was an antenna on the side of the ship that was just firing out these pulses that would travel all the way to Earth and hit Earth specifically.
Oh, that's
killing
unfortunate.
43,000 people.
It did hit Mars, though. Remember how it did hit Mars?
It did, yeah. It hit everyone. Because all of their bases, except the underground one in Mars, just got poofed and gone.
Yeah, they just like blammed.
So, I mean, it hit everywhere in the galaxy, which is unfortunate.
But like, it just like aimbotted at Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's because a few of the scenes in the beginning did take place at Earth, and like, since humans lived on Earth a whole bunch, and like they had
a whole bunch,
like they had good comms equipment and stuff, probably. So they're probably like the most organized people to go take it out. So it's like I don't think the Mars section or like the Moon section would really like respond with how Earth did. So I don't think it was primarily targeting Earth. I think it's just
just like rushed. It did the most damage too. Because Earth was the only planet that really would get damaged by.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's actual human structures on there. Yeah, I can understand that. I wonder if the next movie is going to be them, except...
I don't think there's going to be a next movie.
But not like, if there is, I'm hoping they go to Venus, Mercury, and then actually the Sun. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yes.
Movie.
Brad Pitt on the Sun.
Yes, that would be awesome. Just Brad Pitt going to the Sun.
But,
yeah, while being very edgy.
At least Brad Pitt has his wife back, and he loves his wife.
Yeah, good for him, I guess.
Yes.
No, him and his wife go to Venus, Mercury, and then the Sun. That's what I want the next movie to be.
Genius. Well,
and then also, I want there to be like space chimps as well. I want there to be
that old guy who was only there for 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, that guy. Like, why was... I think his only purpose was just to give, like, wrong person.
You called Tom Cruise again.
Tom Cruise is not in this movie.
Ugh. Okay, no, but, like, I think he was just giving Brad Pitt that one, like, classified stick, and that's it. Like, that's the only thing he did. Because, like, other than that, he just talked very cryptically, and then he was just poofed and gone. He's on the buggies, but then, like, he just poofed and gone.
Yeah, he just like magically does not get shot in the buggies.
And then the only thing we learned, like the only thing we found out about him was that he was going through surgery. That's
whatever happened to him.
Yeah. Hey, maybe it'll all be explained in whenever he goes to the Sun. Who knows?
Yeah, and Ad Astra.
Well, maybe me and Joe can have a lengthy debate about whether he lives or dies.
Okay.
Oh, good God.
Well, we don't know. We don't have enough. Well, we don't have enough information either way. Let's just say that. We don't know what happened in the surgery. We don't even know what they were doing surgery on. I think it was his heart, but we don't even know. Yeah. So we're just going to not talk about that because we don't have enough information to debate that.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even know which side I would pick.
I'd say, like, based on what we know, I'd say he lives.
Probably. But, again, we have, like, nothing besides a sentence. Unlike 5 feet apart, we have concrete evidence that
he died.
Cole Sprouse lives.
For those viewers who are unaware, Joe has the very foolish and naive idea that Cole Sprouse lives in the movie 5 Feet Apart, which is very clearly and artistically stated that he dies.
Not quite sure. Not quite sure about that one. But hey, let's give it a number. What do you guys... Okay, Seabass, what do you give Ad Astra out of 10? 6 being a recommend, 6 or higher being a recommend.
Okay, well... that was the one thing I was kind of questioning. I think I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Oh.
Because the visual effects were very nice. I liked them a whole bunch. And I liked the beginning antenna scene. Also Subway on the Moon and Space Chimps. They were all very good. But then the storyline in the second half of the movie just kind of made it very, like, boring. I give it, like... I just give it a 5.5. I was going to give it a 6, but it's like... From that boring part and stuff, it's like... I can't really... Actually, you know what? No, I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
That's fine.
How about you, Nick?
Oh, well, you see, I was going to say a 6, and unlike Sebastian, I'm not going to change that by 0.5.
No.
Got him. For the exact same reasons, actually, this movie was a movie that should have, like, taken time to sort itself out, but it didn't, and we got an hour and a half of just Brad Pitt by himself floating through space.
You know what, guys? I think I'm going to have to give it a 6 myself.
Whoa, wait a minute. Is that a 666?
Yeah, man.
Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's kind of spooky.
Despite the fact that, if the cinema score person was cultured like us, I would have given it a B-. A C sounds like it's not recommend, but I guess I can recommend this movie. It's just that there's I feel like a lack of focus, and there's too many tonal shifts for something that, is trying to be taken seriously. I feel like it just should have committed to one kind of tone instead of some parts being extremely action-packed and then some parts being very somber with very little buffer in between. and it being very jolting, and it kind of ending up not succeeding at being either of them because they tried to be all of them. Oh, look at that. So yeah, you know, it was okay.
It'd be a good movie to see if you just want to see like space.
Yes, it's space the movie.
I'd say watch this movie for the visuals and space chimp scene, but after the space chimp scene, you're free to leave the theater.
See it in IMAX, I guess. Will you give it an IMAX recommend?
IMAX recommend? I don't know. I haven't seen it in the regular movie theater, so I wouldn't know.
Well, I assume that doesn't shake your seat in the regular movie theater.
I would say do it in IMAX because it's like you go all out.
Yeah, might as well.
Once I was in there and I was watching it, it really did feel like you were in that zero-G sort of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because the noises would rumble the seats and stuff, and then like also the tensity of the scenes as well would really just get ramped up with the shaking because it's like you wouldn't be expecting it. Like you'd be kind of like you'd be lured a little bit into a false sense of
security.
Sort of, yeah, because it's like. There's a few scenes where it would be very quiet, and it would be like a nice little like banging song, and then all of a sudden just, and like something crazy would happen.
Yeah.
Like a chimp coming out, and it's like, oh my.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we weren't expecting a space chimp, and then it just blows up.
Nobody expects a space chimp.
Except in the movie Space Chimps.
That was a movie. Yeah, that was a thing. We should do a movie hoppers on that one day.
Oh man,
I would love to watch.
And the sequel, Space Chimps 2.
There was a Space Chimps 2.
One sec.
No way.
Wait, I saw it in theaters.
Space Chimps, Zartog Strikes Back.
Whoa.
And then Space Chimps. Oh yeah, there was no Space Chimps 3. But yeah, Space Chimps 1 and Space Chimps 2. They're both awful. I bet. But
like the DS game.
Probably two bangers of a movie.
Hell yeah. But okay, well, I guess that's all we've got to say about this wonderful film that tries to be 2001: A Space Odyssey, but is not. So yep. Thank you guys for
watching this exciting episode of the Movie Hoppers.
Wait a second.
Whoa.
Wait a second. I don't even know what the next episode of the Movie Hoppers is going to be.
Saho. We need to find out.
Saho.
Hindi Saho?
Hindi Saho? Question mark?
Find out in the next exciting episode.
I know what. You should do like 2 things of Saho.
Two episodes?
Reviews. 2 reviews of Saho because it was
Saho
like
Part 1, Saho Part 2.
Genius.
Once I get it on DVD, I'll be totally watching that.
Yes, we gotta do like a reaction. Like
a reaction.
Movie Hoppers.
Yeah.
That's a 3-hour-long Movie Hoppers video on Saho.
That'd be sick. Okay. Well,
that would be the record for the longest episode too.
It would. But thank you guys for watching. Goodbye. See ya. Goodbye. Don't listen to these fools.
Who, me?
You owe me the channel. Give it.